Welcome back to the channel, guys. Like you all know me, I'm Cheesy. For the first timers, if you're new on this channel, thank you so much for stopping by. God bless you, and do well by subscribing and turning on the notification bell so you could get notified whenever we post any new tutorial. Okay, quick one. Today we're going to be making this overlap top with a collar and a gigot sleeve. Yeah, this top is actually what inspired me to do this. The one on my right hand side is actually the one, the like it inspired me to go about this top. So today I'm going to be teaching you how to get this top done. And for the belt holder, this thing that looks like a belt holder, I don't even know what to call it. When you get to the market, they have different types, so don't just go and start looking for this particular one, because as you can see, mine and hers is not the same. So you get to see more beautiful ones than this. So get whichever one you want, whichever shape you want, yeah, for it. So if this is what you're interested in, if you want to learn how to make an overlap top with a gigot sleeve and a collar, you would like to keep watching till the end. And please don't forget to subscribe. Like I said before, on this channel I teach tutorial on how to make dresses, outfits. Sometimes I drop lifestyle content. So guys, without wasting much of your time, let's get into it. So in today's channel, like you can see on here, I have my ruler, my scissors, my marking tape, my fabric, and my pattern paper. And I also have my dress holder. With this, I'm going to be using it for the front of the top, like you all can see on the screen. When you get to the market, please don't look for this exact shape. They have different shapes in the market. You can see more beautiful ones than these when you get to the market. So make use of whichever one you want to use, whatever shape, whatever color you feel like using. So, but for today's tutorial, I'll be making use of this. So without wasting much of your time, if this top is something you are interested in, you would like to keep watching this video. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to set my fabric aside and cut on the pattern paper. But first, this fabric, you can use any fabric of your choice, but this is a silk fabric. You can make use of any fabric of your choice, but I'm using a silk fabric. Yeah. So let's get started, guys. So like you all know, I just folded my pattern paper into two, and I'm going to be marking our starting points. For this top, I'm going to be using the back pattern. I'm going to be drafting out the back pattern. So the back pattern is what I'm going to use to draft out on our actual fabric for the back and for the front. So please watch closely. This tutorial is quite simple and very, very easy. So this is my starting point. The next thing I'm going to do, which is also serving as my shoulder line, the next thing I'm going to do is to take my shoulder divided by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is going to give me 9. So from there, I'm going to be coming down for my armhole, which is also 9. And I'm going to be marking a straight line for that. So this is it for the armhole. And I'm equally going to be marking a straight line here. This will be serving as our chest line. I'm just trying to make the line visible for you to see. So this is going to be serving as our chest line. And from our shoulder, which is our starting point, I'm going to be coming down by 11, which is my bust point. And I'm going to mark a straight line for that as well. So after that, after taking our bust point, I'm going to be taking the length of this dress, which is also my waist point, which is 17, which is the exact measurement I have for this pattern paper. So I'm just going to go ahead to just mark a straight line. But when cutting on my actual fabric, I'm actually going to give 2 or 3 inch extra for the folding allowance. So I'm just going to go ahead to label the shoulder line, chest line, bust line, and my top length. So the next thing I'm going to be doing, please do not forget, this is our back. This is our back. So with this back, we're going to be drafting out both the back and the front. We're going to be making use of the back. So the next thing I'm going to do is to take my neck width, which is 3. And for my neck depth, because this is the back, for my neck depth, I'm going to be, remember all your measurements should be coming from this line. My neck depth, I'm going to be coming down by 1.5. So I'm just going to connect that to make a curve. I'm just going to make a curve. So this is it. So what I'm going to be doing next is to take my bust measurement divided by 4. My bust measurement divided by 4 is... So guys, what I did here is I took my bust. I didn't know my camera was not capturing what I was doing, but I think I stopped where I was taking my bust measurement. I took my bust measurement divided by 4, which is 11, and I added 1 inch sewing allowance. Then I came down for my waist and I took my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 9.5, and I added 1 inch sewing allowance. Don't worry, I'm going to be adding extra allowance to the actual fabric when cutting it. Then I came down by 1 here and I slanted it for my shoulders, slope. Then, like I said before, if it was a normal top that we're cutting on our front, we are supposed to divide here by 2 and come out by 1 to make a curve. But because this is the back pattern, what I just did is from this, I just used my ruler to make a curve into that my bust measurement. This is it. So this is it for the front. So I'll just go ahead to cut it out, then we'll draft on our pattern paper. So guys, we are going to be cutting on our actual fabric. So remember, our back is not going to be having any opening because the opening of this top is on the front. So the back is not going to be having any opening. So what I'm going to do now is to use my pin to pin it down so it doesn't dance out, because this is a silk fabric. So I don't want it to dance out. So I've gone ahead to pin it down. So what I'm going to be doing now is to draft out. What I'm going to be doing now is to cut it out. So watch how I cut it out. So guys, like I said, when cutting on my actual fabric, I will be giving 0.5 inch for each for the sewing allowance. So, but on the neckline area, I did not give any. On the neckline area, I did not give any allowance. I just added from the shoulder parts for the sewing allowance. I added 1/4 inch here, 0.5 inch by the armhole side, 0.5 inch by the waist side and the bust side. Then I added 1 inch for the top length side for the folding allowance. So what we're going to do is we're going to be using this to cut our front pattern. So this is where you have to pay close attention to. So let's go, guys. So guys, this is where you have to pay close attention to. Why I said you have to pay close attention to this part. As you can see, I folded my fabric into 2. So what you're going to do is, for this, you're going to fold excess fabric to get that overlap effect. So I folded my pattern into 2 excess. That is what I just did. You're going to fold excess to get that overlap effect for your top. So what I'm going to be doing is, from this part, please let me make sure you guys are seeing what I'm doing. Okay. So let me adjust this front. So I make sure you guys are seeing what I'm doing. So what we're going to do is, From this part, you're going to measure how long you want your overlap, the dropping of your top to be. But what you're going to do, make sure you take your waist measurements divided by 4. Then when you divide your waist by 4, you can add excess to it. So my waist measurement divided by 4 is 9.5. So I'm adding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to it. I think it's not even enough. I'm going to add extra. Let me adjust this to the front. Let me adjust this to the front. So this is it. 9.5 for my waist divided by 4. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.5. That is what I added to my waist. If you want, you can actually stop at your waist measurement divided by 4. But if you want excess for it to drop, you can add excess. So what I'll be stopping by my waist divided by 4, 9.5, then adding excess to it. So what I will just do is to mark this point where I'm stopping. Let me just make a straight line to this place so I don't pass. So I'll be making a straight line to this point so I know where I'm cutting. I don't exceed where I'm supposed to cut. So this is it. So the next thing you're going to do now is from this neck part, you're just from this neck width, this place for our neck width, we got 3. For our neck width, we got 3. So you're going to be marking that 3. And the next thing you're going to do is to fold your fabric like this. Is to fold it like this. Let me use something to hold it down. I'll be using this to hold it down like this. So I'm going to make a straight line all the way to this place, to this point I got. So watch me and see what I'm doing. So guys, as you can see, I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm doing. As you can see, I've slanted it to this point. Remember what I said you're going to do? You're going to, let me zoom this out so you see what I did. You are going to take your waist measurement from this part. First of all, you fold your fabric excess. You fold your fabric excess for the front. You fold your fabric excess for the front. Then from this part, you take your waist measurement divided by 4 and you mark it. You can stop there, but if you want yours to drop more at the front, you can add excess allowance to it, whichever way you want, depending on how big you are. So I took my waist measurement from this place. I got 9.5 and I added like 6 to 7 inches allowance to it. Then I came down from my neck part by 3, like you all know. Then I slanted it all the way down to this place. So what I'm going to do now is to go now and cut it out. Like you all know, this is our back. So I'll be placing it shoulder to shoulder. Just like this. So as you can see what we have. You can see what we have. So this is the overlap. This is the overlap. The overlap. When I open it up, it looks like this. When I close it, it looks like this. So what I'm going to do now is, if you want, you can pipe yours. You can use your bias to fold this in. You can cut a facing for it. Then you can fold your fabric just like this. Whichever way you want to do yours is fine. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do now is to join the shoulder to shoulder. Join this other shoulder together. So when I'm done, I'm going to show you how it looks like. Then I'm going to pipe my facing inside like this. So let's go do it. So for the sleeves, guys, I'm just going to mark out our starting point. I'm going to be fast as possible because I always do this. Then I came down by 5 for my bisect, and I'm not going to be taking my armhole because this is going to be a free sleeve. So I just measured my starting point, my bisect, and the length of the sleeve. So what I will just do is from the starting point, I'll just come down by 5 and curve it just the way you see me doing. Then I'll just mark a straight line down. Then after which I'm going to be dividing the sleeve. I'm going to be marking straight lines on it to enable me divide it, separate it when I want to cut on my actual fabric. So guys, this is what I mean. It will enable me get the gigot sleeve I want, and it's going to minimize me my pattern paper. So I'm going to just cut that. Then this is my sleeves. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please, and you've watched to this extent, why don't you just click on the subscribe button and subscribe, please, guys. And don't forget to turn on the notification button so you could get notified whenever we come post any new video. So I'll just go to my machine and make a pleat for the sleeve down there. I'll just make a loose stitch. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to attach I've joined the bodies just the way you see on the screen. Then what I'm going to do is I used aiming gum to aim the front to fold the front inside. I didn't want to see that thread on it. So you can fold yours using your machine. You can use bias, you can cut a facing for it, but I chose to use aiming gum for mine. So what I'll do, the sleeve, I've gone ahead to pleat the sleeve like you've seen. So I'm going to just attach the band to both of them. After which I'm going to take them to my sewing machine and add the sleeve to the body of my top. So when I'm done doing that, I'll show you how it looks. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to align the front of my top very well, just like this, because the top has a collar on it. So I'm going to just align my top properly, just the way you see me doing. And I'm going to use my tape from the front shoulder, I'm going to be coming down by 2.5. You can come down by 3 depending on the length where you want your collar to start from. So we are going to be coming down by 2.5 from that front shoulder, and I'm equally going to do same at the other side. After which I'm going to use my chalk to indicate that line, 2.5 the other side and 2.5 for the other side. So what I'm going to do is, after marking them just the way you see me doing, I'm going to take from that 2.5 I marked from the other shoulder. I'm going to use my tape. You know how you can measure the neck of your shirt when making a collar shirt? That's the way you're going to do. So I'm going to pick up one side like this and take the measurement slightly, so I will get the accurate measurement. I'm just going to take it slightly all round to meet the other 2.5 points I made. So with that, I'm going to be using it to cut out my collar, the size of my collar. So guys, I'm going to be using this to draft out our collar. So I got 14 for the round neck. So I'm going to be using 15, 1 inch sewing allowance. So 14 divided by 2, I'm going to have 7 plus extra 1 inch plus extra 1 inch, that's 8. So, but first let me just mark a straight line for our starting point so you don't get confused. So 8. Then for the length of my collar, I'm going to be making use of 3. And I'm equally going to mark a straight line, just like this. So I got 14 for the round neck, and I added 1 inch. 14 divided by 2 is 7 plus 1 inch for the folding allowance for the collar, which is 8. So I'm going to be taking same thing for the upper part, 8. Then I'm going to be adding 1 inch So I'm going to get that slanted effect. So from there I'm going to be marking to this line, to this point. I'm going to get to this point to get that effect. So I'm going to be marking straight just like this. So guys, this is what I'm going to be using to cut the collar. I've gone ahead to gum style it, so I'm going to be placing it just like this. So I'm going to be placing it on the fabric, and I'm going to trace it out. So guys, I've gone ahead to cut this out. I traced out one with the one I ironed with the gum steel, and I traced out another one. So note, one will be having a gum steel, the other one will not be having a gum steel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to place them like this. I'm going to place them like this, and I'm going to take it to my sewing machine to sew it like this, like this, like this. I won't be sewing here. So let's go. So guys, I've gone ahead to top stitch here. I stitch it all around, but remember, when stitching, you're going to be leaving a little opening, so don't stitch to the end. You just start somewhere, go around, and also stop somewhere. Do not get to the end. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn it to the other side. Please remember, I gum still just one part, and the other part there is no gum still. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my iron to fold this. I'm going to fold this in and use my hot iron to iron here. And also, I'm equally going to do the same thing for this part and iron. Then after that, I'm going to bring my fabric and merge it together with that point I made. Watch guys, with the point I made, merge it together just like this. Then notch the center parts. So from here, I'm going to be adding my sleeves. So I'm going to sew round to meet that end where I marked. So I meet that end, after which I'm going to fold this inside. So when I'm done, I'll show you how it looks. Then when I'm done with it, I'll be attaching my band. I'll be attaching my band to my sleeves. So I'll be attaching my band to my sleeve just like this when I'm done. Then I'll be joining it to the actual top, to my top. Then I'm going to go ahead to show you how it looks on my body. So guys, I'm done joining the top. I joined the sleeve, like I'm done joining everything. So here is where I'm going to show you how to use that thing that's like belt holder. Like I said, I don't know what to call it, but it's just like a belt holder. So this is when I'm going to just show you, this is where I'm going to show you how you can use it on your top. So what I'm going to do is to arrange the front of my, as you can see, the collar, it's all joined. It's just to iron it. So what I'm going to do now is to I'm going to put the top, the falling parts in one side like this and draw it. You can draw yours further depending on how you want it. You can draw yours just a little. Then I'm going to fix it to the other side like this and draw it. And you can see how it's looking. It's looking pretty good, like very, very fine. So guys, I would like to know what you think about this top down the comment section. Don't forget to like, share this video, subscribe please, and turn on the notification bell so you could get notified whenever we post any new video. See you on my next one. Bye.